Peace, peace. Touch this one. And I just want to make a video about how the movie Get Out and the Sunken Place is that basically the story of the African American and how we still stuck in the sunken place at this current time. Alright, so I know a lot of people make videos about Get Out or whatever. I'm not making this video about the movie Get Out. I'm just using a particular phrase that they was using, the sunken place. You know what I'm saying? And I guess, according to what Jordan Peele say, the sunken place means we're marginalized. No matter how hard we scream, the system still the system silences us. So when it's telling you that the system silences us, no matter how hard we scream, is when you basically explain to people, like, your situation or your condition, and then everyone else is looking at you like, what? Man, you gotta be kidding me, man. How the hell why you ain't able to do this and I'm able to do this? Or whatever, because a lot of us been mentally programmed and we are basically trapped in the mind state, and we are in a sunken place. A sunken place is taking you out of the George Washington Carvers, the C.R. Pattersons, the Malcolm X's. Now we are in sunken place. And how did we get in this sunken place? We got in this sunken place because of a lot of oppression and things that people strive to get. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different things we can apply to the sunken place, but I'm just dealing on just the basics of how we can get out the sunken place. So, this is one of the ways we still is in a sunken place to this day. You know what I'm saying? The incarceration record. So you see, it's a lifetime likelihood of imprisonment. They say all men 1 in 9. They say white men 1 in 17. They say black men 1 in 3. So that means if it's 3 of us together, the statistic says that 1 of us have a criminal record. You understand? And they say Latino men 1 in 6. Now how did we get to the position that where black men became 1 in 3? You understand? How did we get in this position now? Because it wasn't like that in the 70s and the 80s, and then become like that to like the 90s and the 2000s. In the 70s and 80s, the number was real low. The war on drugs, where they start locking people up for the substance, they start giving people maximum time, start giving people football numbers for carrying drugs, and the more money you made, the more time you got. House poverty, which people was led to prey upon each other as opposed to like building each other up or trying to come and have a real common unity, or with what we consider to be a community or whatever. We were so influenced by, and we had so many dysfunctional people roaming in our neighborhoods at the same time. So if you had people who wanted to get out and get themselves together, they was brought down by the other people who who wasn't raised properly or didn't have proper morals installed into them, because that's what it basically comes down to. It comes down to the morals that you've been installed to and what you've been exposed to as a child. You know what I'm saying? So, just a couple of reasons of why we, why we still 1 in 3. That means if 3 of you guys, 3 black people together, only African Americans. You can't say all blacks, because all blacks gonna come here and go to jail or even get placed in a prison system like us. You understand what I'm saying? And that's something crazy, right? Because when you start looking at the statistics of just prison alone, let me see, hold up. Man, this is just an old one. This is in 2010. So it's saying male incarceration race and ethnicity 2010. It's a number of person incarcerated per 100,000 people in that group. So it's 175,000 Latinos locked up. Whites, I guess these numbers, hold up. No, I'm sorry about that. It's 1.7. It's 1.775 Latinos locked up. It's 678,000 whites locked up, and it's 4.3 million, 47,000 blacks locked up. So that's why the statistics is like that. And then they tell you that you only make up 13% of the population, 11% of the population. So why are you still the ones that indulging in the criminal activity? Because the criminal activity came with the poverty. You understand? So let's go to the next one. It's unemployment. I already had them open, so I just put unemployment rates 2017. This 2016. And it's a monthly unemployment rate by race. So you see, they got Asian is at 2.6, whites is at 4.3, Hispanics is at 5.9, and blacks is at 7.8. Now the thing about it is this, right? How in the year 2016 blacks are still at 7.8 with all the progress we claim we made? Because you got a large majority of blacks who still don't have employment. And a lot of it is their fault, because a lot of them don't want to work because of the systematic, like it been installed to them through a generation. They probably seen their mother not work or whatever, and they probably got the same habits of their mother. And then it could be vice versa. You have mothers who don't work that have seen put their children to school. I mean, through college and everything, and the woman, the young child, whether it's a boy or girl, has grown up to be a productive member of society. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this is basically another reason why we are in a sunken place. Because, you know, look, all the 7.8% unemployment is the people the young kids out here who still hustling, still gang banging, the mothers out here who like on Section 8, well, I ain't gonna say Section 8, but welfare, on government assistance, on SSI, or whatever you want to say. Them are all people who can be part of the workforce. And I'm quite sure at this point in time, they really try to get jobs. They can work at this point in time. But because we are stuck in a sunken place, we can't. We mentally, and this is the reason why other people cannot, like when they come here, they can't. Like, they can't understand, like, why? Because you got to understand, 2 generations ago there was no jobs. So when you have ambitions to become something, but you constantly being suppressed and oppressed, you know, it kind of put fear within the next generation. It's just like the method of the cow going into slaughter. You understand what I'm saying? So it's definitely a generational thing as far as unemployment. Why a lot of people is not working, because they haven't been basically, I ain't gonna say programmed, but they haven't been taught or educated properly on how to work and how to do things and produce money or produce income and get off the government assistance. So this is another reason why we're in a sunken place. Alright, so let me see something. There we go, right here. Sorry, my computer taking so long. I'm not even gonna click on it, but I already had it up already, but it said what percent of African American families are headed by a single parent. So this article right here, I guess they put it in Google search or whatever, but it says CNN Don Lemon says more than 72% of African American births are out of wedlock. So it says race by ethnic groups, children in single parent families. It say non-whites 25%, Hispanic 42%. It say American Indian and Native Americans 53%. It say and non-black Hispanics at 67%. So it said 72%. So it's saying that 5% of the 72 go on to probably get married, and 67% of them out of the 72 stays as a single parent home or whatever. So, you know, I mean, this is another reason why we're in a sunken place, because people don't understand the reason or why you need a man, because women are no longer programmed to go out there and find a man. Everything is just is recreational sex as opposed to recreation new sex. You know, sex for recreation purposes. We use sex for recreation purposes. You understand? Everybody want to be a porn star and push themselves to the limit and break themselves to the point to where you can't no longer have regular sex with women because you're so broken mentally. You done did all these things to where you have to push yourself to the limit to have this pleasure. You understand? And this is the reason, like, you know, why people go on and start messing with boys and women start messing with girls, because a lot of women be sexually broken to the point to where they be emotional. And a lot of these lesbians out here, they would sit there, like, I watch this shit. I study life. You know what I'm saying? So I see a lot of these women, like, you know, they'll be on the phone with their girlfriend early in the morning. A nigga like, yo, I mean, he trying to get away from me. I mean, not trying to get away, you know what I'm saying? But you know how we be wanting space or whatever, though. But jokers is not calling their wife early in the morning like, yo, babe, or whatever. I see these lesbians be doing shit like that. And niggas don't do stuff like that no more. Niggas be playing this old hard fake rapper. How many women you run through equals your man, how much of a man you are. You know what I'm saying? And I've been there at one point in time too, but like I said, I didn't have the lessons. Man, this is lessons we supposed to be getting in school, because it need to start at the youth. You being properly taught. That's why you go back and you watch some Bill Cosby clips. You see Bill Cosby, he teaching these children, man, back in the 70s, man. And it's the reason why I think they got him out of there. But nonetheless, though, this is another reason why we're in a sunken place, all right? So let me go to another. This is another reason why most blacks is in a sunken place. Because for you to know where you're going, you got to know where you came from. So this is why a lot of people think the conscious community wasn't beneficiary. It was beneficiary for me. It showed me blacks on a macro level. When I say macro, it showed me we was in Africa, or we was in Japan, or we was in Australia. We all over the place. But it still led me back to this continent of North America. And you know, when you start studying and you start hearing, oh, there was black people. Oh, there was black people here. I never heard that before. But nonetheless, though, now we got these false classifications on us that basically deport you. Now you ask most people, right, that's born in America, whether they're Chinese, Indian, or whatever. Some of them will say they're American. Most of them will be like, yo, I'm an American. They will never say I'm an Indian American, I'm a Chinese American, or I'm a European American. None of them use them terms. They say I'm American, or they would either say I'm American, or they say I'm Indian, or I'm Chinese, or I'm African. They would never use both. They would never make a compound word out of both continents. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, look. You see it right here. It says the origin of the term African American. Jesse Jackson, it say, may have popularized the term in the late 1980s. It say, but Yale researcher found what may very well be the very first written instance of African American. And it say it was published 233 years ago. I mean, I ain't going for that, man. You already know what we consider ourselves. You already know we do it like this. I'm sorry, my computer is taking forever. Like, you know what I'm saying? We already do it like this. For those of you who is advanced with this, see, a lot of us is not advanced with this, man. And we don't know how to really, you know what I'm saying, break this stuff down, because we so programmed. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like I said, you're using these terms, African American. You're using these terms like African American. You deporting yourself. Like I said, no other person here use that term. They would either tell you that they from the country that they came from, or that they whole American. They would never compound the two continents together, or the two cities, or wherever they came from. You know what I'm saying? You figure something like Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was a state. So, you know what I'm saying? But to them, you would think Puerto Rico was a country. But, you know, if you know any better, you know that the states are really countries. That's the country that you reside. So we would be considered if you live in New Jersey, you'd be a New Jerseyan. If you live in Chicago, you be etc. You understand? So they made up the term for you, African American, in the 1980s. You know what I'm saying? So we already know what we refer to the term as. You know what I'm saying? When we look it up. You know, and like I said, this was very important for me buying into the whole that we ain't from Africa shit. Because when you really do the science on it and research everything and put everything together properly, you find out that a lot of this stuff is truth. You know, we dealing with this. A Native of America originally applied to the Aborigines or copper color races found here by Europeans. It's, well, we say semicolon, but now applies to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Okay, it don't really apply. You United States citizens. Okay, but when we really break it down, we get this. Where we at? Nah, my bad. It's this one right here. Yeah, my computer running super slow though, but just bear with me, people, because we, you know what I'm saying, this is what we doing. And I just want to give a shout out to Dane Calloway. I'm just using a little bit of the what Malcolm X said, or what he said when he came back from Mecca. So hopefully, you know, he won't fly me. Hopefully it'll be okay for me to use this. Man, my computer is running super crazy, yo. I think I got too much. My memory is full, so my computer been running slow the last couple of weeks. I gotta actually transfer some of my files to my other flash drive.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't have to be called aborigines.
Okay. And then with the definition itself, you got other people saying we was aborigines, so why would they throw that term in there, African American? That'll keep you in a sunken place. Now you got an actual senator. Yeah, my computer is running crazy, so I'm about to deal with this as soon as I get off.
Prepare for this interview, I was quite surprised to see you use the word aborigines talking about African Americans.
You know, I've dealt with that issue.
Now that's classic right there. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, you got to keep introducing a lot of this stuff to people, because a lot of this stuff, it's like I said, you trying to remember who you were prior to these people colonizing you, and you lying to yourself. So that's a form of being in a sunken place. You're calling yourself African American when they can't tell you where you're from in Africa. Number one, that's another sunken place. Number two, another sunken place is incarceration record. We are still incarcerated at the highest rate when we got enough opportunities out there. Enough opportunities out here. You got kids that hustle until they 28, 29. They use all their 20s up or whatever just to stand out there on the streets, just to realize that later on in life that they need a job. Okay? You know, and that's another form of the sunken place. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I already touched on that right here, but I'm going to leave you with my man right here. Well, I fuck with this brother right here, because this brother always come with some real good information, and a lot of stuff that he says applies to everything. So I'm going to leave you with Brother Blue Pill. All right, I hope I don't get flagged for this, neither. I hope I hope Black Magic don't flag me for this. But I'm going to leave you with them anyway. So, peace.
These are a collection of words, right? Backed by spirit that are able to uplift somebody and put them on a particular path for the day to say, look, I'm going to take this energy, I'm going to move forward, okay?
My bad, my computer is running stupid, crazy.
Through the darkness with this little bit of light. You feel me? I'm gonna let this light shine. So I don't see how
Damn, I'm sorry about this, people. I don't know what the fuck is on my phone.
the reality is quote unquote racism. But racism is like, wait, in the gym, like, you can get that shit up off your chest. What up? You can master that weight at some point, and you can make it work for you eventually once you learn how to master it. Because it's ultimately going to make you stronger. Okay? Once you figure out how to conquer the pressure that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to formulate you into a stronger, more, you know, just a person that's not only able to do for self, but at some point you can go back in and do for others. You know what I'm saying? On some Harriet Tubman shit, like, you can actually go back and free these slaves once you're able to crack that matrix code. Get on your Morpheus, go back into the matrix and pull a few people out. Okay? Once you figured it out for yourself, because again, it's illusionary, it's participatory, okay? And I'm going back to my main creed. Bottom line, there are no victims, only volunteers. Okay? So that shit only works at a particular level during a particular time where you are in a space and a place where it can play on you emotionally. Okay? Once you figure out that you came here as a volunteer, not a victim, then you're supposed to rise above that, man.
So, with that being said, I'm the taunt in this one. This is why I fuck with Brother Blue Pill and Brother Red Pill, because they always giving good information and positive thoughts. So, you know, with that being said, I'm the taunt in this one. I'm out. Peace.